It's 7:13 with Bax and Nagel on Rock 102. You know, it's the Christmas season, Steve, and I don't know how Yuletide you feel around this time of year, but there are certain films, certain TV shows that get me every season.
Yeah, well, there's ones that get me too, and I don't really want to participate in this. So, how about that? Bah humbug.
Be that way, Steve. A Christmas Story is a comedy classic, a film that is beloved by generations ever since it came out in 1983, Steve.
How about that?
And one of the big characters, I'm sure you all recall, was Scut Farcus. He had yellow eyes. Yellow eyes, I swear to God, they were yellow eyes.
Yeah.
And he is coming to the Zombie Hideout on the 16th of December, and he is on he's on Zoom with us right now.
Well, I'm just going to recuse myself.
All right. It's actor Zack Ward. Zack, good to see you.
Good to be seen. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing terrific. You're going to be coming to the Zombie Hideout in Springfield on the 16th. What's going to be going on over there? You're just going to be signing stuff and shaking hands?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a local promotion for A Christmas Story 40th anniversary. Zombie Hideout, local business, mom and pop owned company. You know, in the community, I always feel like it's a nice thing to do, smaller venues and meet up with local people. You know, that's the thing about A Christmas Story, is that I think part of the magic of A Christmas Story is that the movie failed when it came out. Nobody cared. And it was released 2 years in a row. And actually the first year, what's his name? The guy from E.T., Entertainment Tonight, Leonard Maltin. Leonard Maltin panned the movie the first year it came out. Panned it. And then the second year, he revised his critique and said he loved the movie and it was an instant classic. So that was interesting. But the point is, the movie died when it came out in theaters. It did not do well. And then it was sold to MGM, and then it came out on, it came out on video. And that's really where it started to land its audience, was when people were trading the VHS cassettes back and forth. I know that sounds weird to the youngins in the audience, but VHS cassettes were $100 a piece back then, back when $100 was like the equivalent of $400.
Right.
So it was a big deal, and people would hoard the ones that they loved and they pass it around. And then TNT put it out on a marathon around Christmas. And the only reason TNT did that is because they bought the MGM library of films. So MGM went bankrupt and they sold out their library of films. So imagine you had a big library in your house, you ran out of money, you sold all your stuff, right?
Right.
So this little movie, A Christmas Story, is in your library. You've got big, expensive books that are very successful, but this little piece of crap book, A Christmas Story, nobody cares about. You're basically giving it away for free. And Turner gets it, and they're like, might as well put it on during Christmas. No one's going to watch it. And we have to put something on to abide by the FCC rules. So let's just throw that on. No one's going to notice. More people ended up watching the 8 o'clock screening of A Christmas Story than the amount of people who watched the Super Bowl. And that's amazing. And that's the core point of what I'm saying, is the studio did not promote this movie. Hollywood did not create this film as a success. The American public chose it.
You know, it's amazing.
They chose it because it represented them.
Yeah.
It represented multiple generations. And that's what's beautiful about the film.
You know, it's what's incredible, Zach, is I remember seeing the film in the theaters first run.
Nice.
My dad was a huge fan of Gene Shepard and really wanted to go see the movie. So, normally you see a Christmas, movie because your kids want to see it. We saw the Christmas movie because my dad wanted to see it. And
that's great.
And I remember it kind of bombing, and then talking about this movie. And I said, did anybody see this? And no one had seen it. All of a sudden, it's showing up on TNT on Christmas Day, and everyone's like, "Did you see this movie?" I was like, "Jesus, I've been talking about this movie for years. How it's maybe one of the funniest, most nostalgic films. I mean, even though it's set in the 50s, what kid can't relate to what Ralphie was doing, or even even dealing with a Scut Farcus, with a bully."
even though it took place in the 40s, the story is timeless.
Totally.
You know, that's the thing that's brilliant about it. That's like, you know, I think about like Uncle Buck or Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, those classics that are so genuine and fun because you can relate to it at any age, and it keeps on getting better.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an honor to be part of something like that people just enjoy, and I get to share the experience with people in different places, and that's why I'm really excited about being at the Zombie Hideout, meeting people. And I'll be there for A Christmas Story, obviously, but also if anybody's going to show up with their Freddy versus Jason paraphernalia, or their Titus stuff, or their Transformers stuff, or Almost Famous, whatever they want to get signed, I'm happy to help out.
You were about 13 years old at the time that the film was made, 1983, and I mean the character you played of Farcus is like one of those. It was so well played by a kid. I mean, I can't imagine anyone not hating that character simply because of the kind of bully that you portrayed. As a kid, though, and as a young actor, did you ever feel as though people judged you personally based upon that character, or did that not happen?
Oh no, that happened a lot, and it's easier now that the character has been established in the canon of Americana as like the most beloved bully of all time, a kid bully. You know, I'm sure Biff Tannen is the most beloved teenage bully, but when I was younger and the movie hadn't really landed, like when I was in my 30s, I just got into a lot of fights because people were like, "Hey, man, I know you from somewhere." I'm like, "We have never met. I'm working in a new town doing a movie or something." And they're like, "No, you dated my sister, or you owe me money." I'm like, "I have never been here before." But literally, it caused me to get into a great deal of fisticuffs because people would misconstrue me with my character and where they knew me from. And, you know, it's not like bumping into Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. You know, that's Tom Cruise or Brad Pitt. I'm just a redhead with a punchable face. And so everybody just thinks that they need to take a swing.
Yeah, but Zach, it's the yellow eyes. I swear to God, you had yellow eyes.
Right?
I want to ask you about a couple other things. Obviously, you've done a lot of acting, a lot of TV, a lot of film. But as far as the other acting you've done, I mean, you were in Almost Famous and Transformers and Walker Texas Ranger with Chuck Norris. I mean,
yeah.
What was? I mean, you always hear stories and jokes about what a badass Chuck Norris is. Is he really that badass, or did you not get enough time with Chuck?
He was a sweetheart. He was a very kind man. This is interesting trivia. So in the episode I did called Camp Justice, I play a late teen ne'er-do-well criminal. They're trying to bring to the right side of the tracks, and I actually sneak away, climb a tree, and when Chuck is looking for me, I jump down and hit him in the back of the head with a tree branch. It's a fake tree branch, and I knock him out. Right, so I knock him out, and then I escape. And I fall down a ravine, and I break my leg, and I got to get lifted out on a helicopter, which was awesome, by the way. But then I go into set the next day, and we're in Texas, and everybody on the crew is either related to Chuck Norris or has been on the show for years and just loves him. They're a very tight-knit community. And everything had been going so well, and then I walk on a set the day after I knocked out Chuck with the rubber branch, and everybody is giving me the stink eye. And I'm like, "Hey, good morning." And they're like, "You son of a Friday. I'm like, "What's going on?" And I turned to the wardrobe department. There was a lovely lady working there. I said, "Did I do something wrong?" And she goes, "Well, everybody's upset because you knocked out Chuck." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like, "When you knocked out Chuck Norris." I'm like, "I didn't really, and it was in the script. Why are you mad at me?" That's insane. But yeah, that was my experience. It was incredible. I'm the only person in all the seasons of Walker Texas Ranger to actually knock out Chuck Norris. So I have that on my resume.
Well,
kind of exciting.
Well, after being beaten down by Peter Billingsley, I suppose that's kind of a great revenge story in a way.
Yeah, right.
So again, you're going to be at Zombie Hideout on the 16th, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You'll be there, talking to people and signing stuff. Zach, it's great to talk to you. Like I said, I've been a big fan of The Christmas Story forever, because who the hell isn't? And it's such an iconic film. It must be, when you guys did the sequel, it had to be a lot of fun to be back with a lot of those people again and kind of rejuvenating that story a bit.
It was a great time. Did you get a chance to see the movie?
You know what? I have not seen that. I have not seen it.
Oh, good. I think you'll enjoy it. Check it out this Christmas. I got to be honest with you. It is very much for the people who were fans of the first one. So it really connects the dots and continues the story. I think you'll understand and appreciate it as a grown-up. Kids will enjoy it, but adults will love it. And awesome. I think it stays in the world of Gene Shepard, and you yourself are a raconteur in the tradition of Gene Shepard, the storytellers with their voices on the radio, and so you get it.
Totally. Get it.
So getting to do that again was an amazing experience, and it was also one of those things that I was old enough. When I was a kid, this is just a cool thing that happens, and you don't really have any value to associate with it. You can't give it perspective. When you're a grown up, you realize what rare air it is to be able to do these things. And, these guys, the other actors in the film, they're like my brothers. I've known them for 40 years. We've gone through a lot of shared experiences. We've been there for each other. Like everybody else, life goes up and down. It's good, it's bad, it's hard, it's beautiful. And then it ends. And we've been able to be there for each other and be friends and support one another. And that's been a huge gift.
That's great. Zach, it's a real pleasure to talk to you. Best of luck next weekend. And best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll come out to the Zombie Hideout, baby. It's going to be cool.
Sounds good. Zach Ward with Bax and Nagel and Rock 102.
Rock 102 and Aqua